right now. We're joined by Virginia Democrat Senator Tim Kaine. Good to have you back on the show.
Thanks, Shannon.
So you heard there the discussion about some people want them to get a divorce. Would you put yourself in that category?
No, it's the policy that matters to me, not the bromance. I don't really care about that. And look, the policy is one that is real trouble. I'm all for government efficiency. When I was governor, Virginia was the best managed state in America. But when you come in and the first thing you do is you fire the inspector generals, those are the people whose job it is to find waste, fraud, and abuse. When you fire them, you send the message that efficiency isn't the goal. Doing things to benefit yourself is the goal.
Do you not think all these cuts, though, are sending the message that that efficiency is the goal? I mean,
No.
DOGE has got an up and running website. They've got Twitter feeds that are showing exact contracts, exact things they're finding. And a lot of American people are surprised to find that their tax dollars are going to some of these efforts.
The message in Virginia, Shannon, isn't that the efficiency is the goal. Here's a message that they're waging a war on veterans. They're doing willy-nilly layoffs at the VA. And since 30% of the federal workforce is veteran, and Virginia is a veteran-heavy state, that's the way it feels at home. Cutting research, cutting health clinics, cutting Head Start programs. The inspector general firing, the message out of the gate is this is a group of people that want to pad their own pocket. They're going to cut things to try to amass a lot of dollars that they're then going to use to do tax cuts for the wealthiest. And that's the playbook we saw in the first Trump term, and I think we're seeing it again.
All right, I want to read you the words of newly elected president. The people demand and deserve a government on their side, but they don't want a government that wastes money, a government that costs more and does less. They voted for change. They wanted a literal revolution in the way the government operates, and now you and I must deliver. That was Bill Clinton in 1993 talking to his cabinet. And one of the first things he called for was a reduction of 100,000 federal employees, and he went way beyond that in his 8 years.
And you know what he did, Shannon? He worked with Congress to do it. And Donald Trump has 2 Republican houses. He's got a budget discussion that has to have a resolution by March 14. Why isn't he getting the Republican leaders down in the White House and saying, here's what we're going to do? He's making all these cuts without them because he doesn't even think the Republican leadership will go along with him. Bill Clinton did things to shrink the size of government, and he did it with Congress. There's a difference between that and ignoring Congress and violating the law.
But the executive branch does have a lot of authority and purview over things that are within the executive branch and decisions about money and how it's dispersed. I mean, that is part of the president's authority.
The president has authority, but the president also has to follow the law. There's this law that the Impoundment Act, that says once Congress has appropriated dollars for a particular purpose, the president is not allowed to say, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to spend this money, but not that money. The president needs to follow the law. And that's why, so far, there's a whole lot of lawsuits that have been successful. They'll go through appeals courts, but a lot of the president's extreme executive actions that hurt folks are being challenged in court right now.
They are. Some of them on hold, and we'll follow those. And we're going to talk about those a little bit later in the show, too. But here's reaction to how Democrats are now pushing back on DOGE and those efforts. Peace in the Hill says this: Democrats' relentless attacks on Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency make it clear which side they're on. Spoiler alert, it's not the side of the taxpayer. So do you worry about the optics of so much outrage at Elon Musk and the DOGE team versus outrage about some of the stuff that they're uncovering?
Yeah, I think my outrage is about who they're hurting. Again, I don't care about the bromance. Who cares about the bromance? I don't like letting unelected officials, post. Yesterday, the DOGE guys post classified information on their website, and they had to realize, we didn't realize that agency was a classified agency. You shouldn't let people run rampage through offices that have classified information. And again, I view this in Virginia from the perspective of we're a veteran-heavy state. There's a war on veterans. When they're slashing in the VA, and when 30% of the federal workforce is veterans, compared to like 2 to 3% of the civilian workforce, you do indiscriminate cuts. I'll tell you who it hurts. It hurts veterans.
Do you take any solace, though, in the fact that there have been a number of positions at the VA that have been walled off? They are not eligible for cuts or buyouts because the administration was aware that there were concerns about that.
I do take some solace in that, but here's an example. There are 2 veterans clinics waiting to open in Virginia, one in Chesapeake, one in Fredericksburg. They've been built. We've spent them, and they're in areas where there's high percentages of veterans. their opening days are now thrown into question. And when they do open, they'll be short-staffed rather than full-staffed because of the actions of the Trump administration. That's no way to treat veterans.
Okay, let's talk about funding, because all of this gets wrapped in as well. The funding battle that's coming,
Yes.
federal funding runs out on March 14th.
Yep.
A lot of people say, oh, in D.C. time, we've got plenty of time to figure this out. And maybe you do.
I don't like it, though. No, I'm not wild about that. We should have done it last year.
Well, here are two recent headlines. New York Times. 2 Democratic senators said on Sunday that their party would not rule out forcing the federal government to shut down. The very next day, USA Today has this headline. Dems say they are open to shutting down the government. Now, you've said in the past that shutdowns are not good for the American people. You've talked about Virginia. You've talked about military families that are a big part of the Commonwealth. You said this: it inflicts unnecessary harm on federal employees, government contractors, and millions of Americans who rely on government services. So should a shutdown this time around, now that Republicans are in control, should it be a threat? Should you be guys using it as leverage?
I never use it as a threat. I don't like the fact that Donald Trump is shutting government down as we speak. You know, he says, I want to shut down the Department of Education, shrink the USAID staff down to 250 people. That is a shutdown unauthorized by Congress against the law. I don't like that, and I don't think we should be contemplating shutdown. Look, the Republicans, as you point out, Shannon, they have all 3 levers. They got the White House, they got both houses. They got to figure out a budget deal. We could have done one last year, but after the November election, they said, well, let's wait till 2025 when we have all the levers and we'll do a budget deal ourselves. So far, you can see there's a lot of confusion between the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans. We know where this is going. It's tax cuts for the wealthiest is going to come very, very soon. We saw that in the Budget Committee this week. But they're having a hard time getting on the same page.
Well, they do say that in extension of the 2017 tax cuts, the IRS itself said in a nonpartisan way it benefited every tax bracket. So that's the argument from Republicans. And
not equally, but there were benefits, but the benefits were overwhelmingly to the wealthiest and big corporations.
So it's hard to believe it hasn't been a month of the new administration. There's a lot that's happened. CBS polling out there saying people describe President Trump as tough, energetic, focused, and effective. 70% say he's doing what he promised, and he's got the highest approval rating he's ever had with CBS News. So with that in mind, let me read you something from a colleague of yours, Democrat Congressman Ro Khanna, the House side. He says, we have to acknowledge that we spectacularly failed to recognize in the last election that the status quo was broken, and Americans are feeling a righteous anger about the real damage that the governing class has done to their lives over the past few decades. These new numbers show people so far, a majority of Americans are happy with what President Trump's doing.
I think the CBS poll said 62% of Americans say Donald Trump isn't doing enough to bring down prices. Eggs are through the roof. There's an article in the New York Times today about construction costs going up. And I just met with my farmers in northwestern Virginia Friday. They're petrified about the tariff effect on agriculture and forestry because they saw what happened when Donald Trump did government by tariffs in his first term. In Virginia, people are really worried about mismanagement of the economy and tariffs and prices going up. They're worried about these folks who fire the inspector generals and seem to want to pad their own pockets. They're worried about attacks on education and research. There's a lot of concerns out there.
All right. It's good to see you, Senator. I was about to call you governor, but you were governor of Virginia, and where I am your constituent. So always good to see you. And we'll try to get to some of those things with Senator Barrasso next.
I'd like that.
Thank you. Okay, so